Today, we're exploring the emotional and gripping story of the movie Vaazhai, set in mid-1998 in the rural village of Karangulam, Tamil Nadu. Vaazhai, The Burdened Lives is a heart-wrenching tale that captures the struggles of impoverished laborers. The story follows Sivanandan, a bright yet burdened adolescent, as he navigates the intersection of youthful dreams, societal pressures, and familial obligations in a world weighed down by poverty and exploitation. Sivanandan's life in Vaazhai is a stark portrayal of modern-day slavery. His unrelenting physical toil and neglected emotional well-being highlight the harsh realities of life in Karangulam, a village where most families survive by harvesting banana bunches for a meager 1 rupee per bunch. Amid this struggle, Sivanandan finds solace in his friendship with Shekhar, his fellow worker and confidant. Their camaraderie provides a temporary escape from their shared oppression, though the constant weight of their circumstances threatens to strain their bond. The story begins with Sivanandan and Shekhar, ardent fans of Tamil cinema icons Rajinikanth and Kamal Haasan, engaging in playful debates about their heroes. Despite his bright intellect and dreams of escaping poverty, Sivanandan's life is tethered to labor. He secretly harbors a crush on Pangodi, his compassionate social science teacher who inspires him to dream beyond his circumstances. However, the harsh realities of his life continually pull him back, forcing him to balance fleeting hopes with the relentless grind of survival. Despite being an intelligent and ambitious boy, Sivanandan is forced to work on weekends to help his family repay mounting debts. His mother had taken an advance from Muthuraj, the oppressive village broker, pledging Sivanandan's labor. Each weekend, Sivanandan and Shekhar frequently devise excuses to escape the grueling work. However, his mother's insistence and the family's dire financial state leave him with little choice. The weight of poverty presses down on Sivanandan, robbing him of his childhood dreams and leaving him to bear responsibilities far beyond his years. Sivanandan's innocent infatuation with his teacher represents a longing for parental care, love, and emotional security, which he lacks in his home. Taking her handkerchief is symbolic of his desire to keep a part of that warmth with him, a physical memento of his connection to someone who genuinely cares. His act, though seemingly trivial, encapsulates his emotional vulnerability, navigating a life where support is scarce. Sivanandan's relationship with his teacher mirrors a mother-son bond, with the teacher guiding and mentoring him despite her limited resources. However, as the story progresses, Sivanandan's emotional growth becomes hindered by his external circumstances. His inability to be honest about his struggles creates a distance between them, highlighting the emotional isolation he experiences despite his mentor's best intentions. Love and resistance. Sivanandan's elder sister, Vembu, shares his dreams for a better life, but her path takes a different turn. She is in love with Connie, a passionate communist and social activist, who challenges the oppressive payment system that exploits the laborers. Together with a few other villagers, Connie fights for a small wage increase, offering a glimmer of hope. Though successful in pushing for temporary change, Connie's defiance comes at a high price. When he intervenes in a confrontation between Muthuraj and Sivanandan, his actions result in humiliation and the loss of his job. Forced to join the ranks of the laborers, Connie shares the same burdens as the villagers, deepening the family's struggles and highlighting the systemic injustice they face. Sivanandan caught by teacher. When caught by his teacher, Sivanandan's lie highlights his internal conflict between preserving his dignity and protecting the care he receives from her. His fabricated story about the handkerchief symbolizes his struggle to maintain his identity in a society that constantly seeks to define and dehumanize him. The teacher's disappointment mirrors the clash between truth and the harsh reality of survival. Sivanandan was very guilty. After revealing the truth to his teacher, Sivanandan is overwhelmed with guilt, knowing that he has broken the trust of someone who has shown him kindness. This moment is a turning point, where Sivanandan is confronted with his dual identity, one as a struggling laborer, and the other as a student yearning for understanding and support. His guilt underscores the emotional complexity of living a life of deception to protect one's dignity, dreams and desperation. As the debts continue to mount, Sivanandan's family is driven to further despair. In a final attempt to provide for themselves, they are forced to sell their beloved cow, an act that shatters Sivanandan's spirit. With school being his only refuge, Sivanandan clings to the dream of performing in the annual day function. However, the constant pressure to fulfill his labor responsibilities weighs heavily on him. Desperate to find food, he attempts to steal bananas from the fields but is caught and brutally beaten by a caretaker. The emotional and physical pain becomes too much to bear, and he collapses near a pond, his body exhausted and his will weakened. tragedy strikes upon awakening. Sivanandan is greeted by the devastating news that the village has been engulfed in mourning. A tragic accident has claimed the lives of 19 villagers, including his sister Vembu, Kani, Sekar, and even Mutharaj. Overloaded with banana bunches, a lorry had overturned, burying the workers alive. The community mourns not only the loss of their loved ones but also the consequences of the greed and negligence that led to the disaster. The traders and authorities are blamed for failing to provide safe working conditions, emphasizing the systemic neglect that costs lives. Heartbreaking climax. Returning home to a grieving mother, Sivanandan is overwhelmed by guilt and despair. His mother, broken by the loss of Vembu and her inability to protect her family, accuses herself for the tragedy. Driven by hunger and the unbearable weight of grief, Sivanandan flees to a nearby banana field, where he collapses from exhaustion. The screen fades to black as his frail body lies on the ground, symbolizing the end of innocence and the harsh reality faced by the oppressed. Ending in dedication. The film concludes with an archived newspaper article from Dinathanthi, reporting the tragic deaths of 20 plantain workers near Srivakandam. The credits roll with a solemn dedication to those who lost their lives, as a survivor's voice narrates the heartbreaking loss. The dedication serves as a powerful reminder of the countless lives sacrificed to systemic injustice and the indomitable spirit of those left behind. Themes and message. The Burdened Lives sheds light on the plight of marginalized laborers, exposing the exploitation, greed, and neglect that plague their lives. It serves as a sobering reflection on the human cost of poverty and systemic oppression, and the resilience of those who fight for their basic rights. Through the lens of Sivanandan's journey, the film honors the strength of those trapped in cycles of hardship and advocates for change, empathy, and justice. Vaazhai is a deeply emotional biopic that captures the essence of director Mari Selvaraj's life, bringing to screen a story of hope, struggle, and the relentless pursuit of a better future in the face of adversity. If you enjoyed the video, subscribe to the Narrator Stories channel for more inspiring stories and thought-provoking content.